Hi, my name is Matteo Liotta, and I am currently in my third year of Bachelor of Arts in Creative Musicianships program, specializing as a guitarist. In this video, I will present my music practice portfolio and provide a critical analysis of techniques, process, and performance protocols used in my portfolio, also evaluating the cultural context of the musical performance. The portfolio I submitted for this exam consists of 7 tracks, a mashup of Billie Jean and Seven Nation Army, a mashup of Californication and Levitating, Cold Heart by Elton John and Dua Lipa, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, Die With A Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga, Adventure of Lifetime by Coldplay, and Samba Pati by Carlos Santana. Um, So now let's analyze the protocols and process in my musical practice and those of other musicians involved. The preparation of portfolio began in January, and our work was divided across several months. We started by selecting the repertoire during the last week of January, and in February we held 2 studio sessions per week, each lasting 2 hours, to work on the arrangement and backing tracks. In this period was also essential for individual practice, allowing each band member to focus on their instrument, particularly on technique selection and additional improvised section. Finally, during March, April, and May, we held weekly rehearsals in the practice room, each lasting 2 hours, to finalize all the track in portfolio. Um, this table show for each track its characteristic musical lineup and choices we made. So my portfolio is divided into types of tracks: the tracks with backing sequences and the acoustic tracks. Um, Our common approach to working on track was as follows: key selection, arrangement, structure, technical choice, and improvisation. To analyze the guitar techniques in detail based on the style of tracks, I will refer to 3 pieces of my portfolio: Uptown Funk, Californication, and Samba Pati. In Uptown Funk, the primary guitar techniques used is a funk rhythmic guitar, and in this song, the guitar plays a rhythmic role inspired classic classic 1917 funk. Um, the guitar is not a guitar-centric tracks in solistic sense. The funk guitar is but the funk guitar is essential to maintaining the song's energy. The chords are often triads and played in the middle or higher strings. And the guitar part is repetitive, maintaining the same patterns for most of the song. So the goal is not to stand out, but to support the rhythmic section along with the bass and drums. In Californication and Levitating, this mashup, the guitar plays the main riff from Californication using an arpeggio technique. The arpeggio is played cleanly with alternative picking and with clean sound using the reverb. And the chords are played in open position, make using the open strings. In Samba Pati, the guitar is the clear protagonist and is played with great expressiveness. It is an instrumental piece on a Latin rock blues style. Key guitar techniques include slow, progressive bending to build tension, deep vibrato, and legato to connect notes naturally and expressively. So now let's know the cultural context of the musical performance from a historical, cultural, and technological perspective in relation to the concept of the band. The first form of bands date back to late the 19th century, with marching bands and brass bands, primarily composed of wind instrument and percussion, With the rise of jazz in the early 20th century, especially in New Orleans, jazz band emerged featuring drums, double bass, horns, and piano. Here, musical interaction and group improvisation began to shape what we now call band. In 1915s, with the explosion of rock and roll, the band took a more modern format: vocal, guitar, bass, and drums. In 1917 and 1918, with genres such as progressive rock, punk, metal, and funk, bands started experimenting with new structures, sounds, and lineups, incorporating keyboards, synthesizer, and horn section. With the advent of electronic music and digital production, in 1990 and 2000, bands began to evolve. They became smaller, more flexible, and more technology driven. The role of the producer began to replace some traditional roles, and electronic sequences became a central part of many live performances. This trend is not only cultural but also economic. Forming smaller bands allows musicians to earn more, reduce logistical costs, and be more flexible across different performance contexts. This is why our band, The Fortune, consists of just three members: a guitarist, me, a keyboardist, and a vocalist. Sequences play a fundamental role in our performance. So, our goal is to work as a band for private events in Italy. We are a pop band with disco and funk influences, and this choice is based not on a not only on a personal taste, but also on the intention to reach a wider audience. So, for example, if you look at data from the FIMI 2024 report, Spotify, and similar sources, we can see that the pop is the most listened to genre in Italy. Since most of our work will initially take place in Italy, we believe this is the best choice. Thank you, everyone.